Hello everyone, welcome back to Enter the Circle series. Last week we talked about the hours of power, and today we are moving to lunar magic, the phases of the moon, what each one carries and how to work with them. So it doesn't come with a surprise that most of the witches feel connected with the moon. She governs what is hidden, the emotions, intuition, the unconscious. The moon moves the tides. She affects sleep, mood, and growth in nature. So it will make sense that she also affects how we feel and how we move through our lives. Working with the moon means to learn a rhythm, a clock that is not about hours. It is about when to begin, when to build, when to receive, and when to release. Let's start with the four main phases, okay? And one thing that you need to keep in mind before we begin, you don't need a full ritual every time that the moon shifts in the sky. Sometimes lunar magic is simply awareness, is paying attention in this natural rhythm, letting that change how you act. Let's start with the new moon. The new moon opens the cycle. At this phase, the moon isn't gone. She just turned inwards. It's not reflecting the sunlight. She's quiet, just being herself. The sky darkens, and the energy that she offers here invites us to do the same, to turn us inward and contact the raw parts of ourselves. Because of these qualities, the quietness, the introspection, and the grounding, this phase carries the energy of earth, the stillness before movement, the soil before the seed is placed. The new moon is less about action, is more about reflection and intention. So listen, observe, check with yourself, decide what you want to grow in the next cycle ahead. One of the most common new moon practice is setting intentions. It doesn't need to be something complex. A few words, a sentence, a short list of directions that you want to follow. Think this as planting a seed in the dark soil. What you want to see to grow with the moon as she gets bigger. This phase also connects with the hidden parts of ourselves, our unconscious patterns, our emotional landscapes, the things that we feel but we don't see clearly. This is why many traditions associate this phase with the dark goddess or with the dark mother. Not because it's dangerous, but because it reveals what has been sitting in the dark, and that asks for respect. Sometimes during this phase, insights come to the surface, a realization, or an emotional release that was waiting. Don't force it. Just stay present with whatever arrives in this phase. I would like to make a note here for those who are just starting. Keep your new moon practice very simple at first. If you're not sure whether to begin something now, wait for the waxing moon. That's a safer entry point. But for those who are already used with this energy and want to go a little bit more deeper, some rituals for the new moon would be intention setting, shadow reflection, planting long-term goals, self-checked rituals, renewing your practice. That means initiations or dedication rituals. You can also use here to bless a new project that you want to see to growth. If the work that you want to do is about beginning something, listening inwards, or planting something from the future, the new moon will help you with that. Moving forward with the energy of the moon, after this quiet period with the new moon, the light returns. The waxing moon is the phase of growth. What was planted begins to develop direction and strength. If you are not ready to start this work during the new moon, this is where you begin. Setting your intentions here is equally valid. The energy of the waxing moon is connected with air, with thought, with clarity, and also carries the quality of youth, curiosity, movement, the desire to explore. Many traditions also associate this phase with wild, independent energies, the hunter, the wanderer, the part of us that leaves the familiar ground to find something new. But keep in mind that things here are not fully formed yet, but they are moving, and that momentum matters. But also here, one of the most important things to do is choosing where you are going to place your energy. We often have several ideas, several intentions, but growth needs direction. So ask yourself, which of these plans deserve my focus right now? Where I'm actually willing to move, or where I'm actually willing to put my energy? Which of my intentions or plans deserve my focus now? Where I want to put my energy so this plan can grow? Because also the waxing moon asks for care. What is in the beginning is also very vulnerable, like new seedlings that need protection. Your plans, your intentions also needs to be protected by you. That being said, we now can move for rituals that can be done in a waxing moon. Here, attracting opportunities, growth in projects, strengthening relationship, anything related to increasing, can be your confidence, can be your money, your motivation, your personal development, anything connected with your career progress or creative inspiration, also everything connected with learning and knowledge. Here is very practical to say that this is a good time for first actions. So sending that email is starting something new, taking the first step towards something. If the new moon is about the promise, the waxing moon is where it begins to become real. As the time passes, the moon grows bigger, and now we reach to the full moon. The moon is completely illuminated. The light is full. Everything becomes visible. The key word for the full moon is manifestation. The energy reached its peak. What was building since the new moon begins to show its forms in the physical world. Sometimes that takes shape in something positive, sometimes shows some challenges, but both of cases the full moon brings clarity. It shows what actually is happening. As we talked before, the moon governs water, and we can see that clearly with the tides in the ocean. And because the human body is mostly water, our inner tides rise too. We can get more emotional, more sensitive, more intuitive. Your inner vision sharpens. And sometimes because of that, some things that we've been carrying inside of us comes to the surface. All emotions can also show up here. This is not something to resist. It is an energy reaching its natural peak. So it's fine, and also it will pass. The full moon is also connected with abundance of energy, emotional, and possibilities. But abundance amplifies what is already present in your life. If something positive was cultivated early in the circle, it will expand. But if something was avoided or unresolved, it will surface and will become more clear for you. This is why this phase asks for presence. Many traditions connect the full moon with the Great Mother, the nurture force that protects, heals, and sustains. The most generous of the lunar phases, the one considered the most open also to grant us all the wishes that we want. The full moon also carries the symbol of union. In the sky, in this moment, when the sun and the moon stand in opposition, they face each other across the sky. There is no obstruction between them. That is why this phase is also associated with harmony, with love, with balance between forces. Now I would like to say a word about grounding during this time, because at the full moon, emotions and energies are in their highest, and that intensity can carry us away from ourselves. You might interpret some situations too quickly or react before really observing, taking things personally that were not personal at all. This is why grounding is especially important here. Root yourself before you act. observe before you speak. Stay present. Keeping that in mind, we can also talk about the rituals that we can do in a full moon. Here we can work manifestations, fulfillment, abundance, prosperity, love, union. We can also charge our magical tools. We can work our intuitive practice and divination, dream work, blessing rituals in general. Many witches also use the full moon to charge water, creating the moon water, or your tools, talismans, anything that you can think of it, people put under the moonlight. So you can also try that as well. Coming now to the end of the circle, we finally arrive with the waning moon. After the peak of the full moon, the light begins to recede. The waning moon brings a different kind of energy. This is a phase of release, cleansing, and closing, letting what no longer belongs to begin to fade. But the waning moon also carries more than just that. The waning moon is also the moon of wisdom. Many traditions associate with the wise woman, with the crone, with the grandmother, the one who has moved through the entire circle. She has been the new moon, the waxing moon, the full moon. She carries the memory of all of it. And that is what this phase offers to you. The part of yourself that can look back and understand what actually happened. During the waning moon, look back at the cycle. What has grown since the beginning? What worked? What didn't? This is the time to evaluate, not judge, to observe what your intentions and actions have created in your life, your work, your relationships, and then accept what you find. Acceptance of what happens, of what worked, and what did not. Not to punish yourself, but to understand the whole process in a healthy way. Is to look and say, this is what happened, this is what I learned. That clarity is what allows the next cycle to begin in a clear slate. When you release what has completed its time, your energy becomes available again. Space opens, and the next new moon finds a new space to start again. So now let's talk about some rituals for the waning moon. Here you can do energetic cleaning, banishing, removing obstacles, emotional healing, releasing, but also protection and psychic defense. Here you can use also to break old habits or attachments. You can also here work with some forgiveness and emotional release. Cleaning and blessing the home are also a good option here at this phase. Anything that end the situation and bring a new slate. And now we have the full cycle, the new moon. The moment of the beginnings. It's time to turn inwards, to plant intentions, to listen. In the waxing moon is the time of growth, to move forward, to choose a direction, and to nurture whatever you have already started. At the full moon is the peak of manifestation. The energy is high. Things reveal themselves, so stay present. In the waning moon is the time of release and reflection. Let it go. And at this point, the moon will disappear into the dark sky again, and a new cycle begins. Working with lunar magic is learning this rhythm, not forcing things to happen all the times, but understanding when to begin, when to act, when to receive, and when to release. The more you pay attention to these cycles, the more natural your practice becomes. Because you are no longer working against the current, you are moving with it. Thank you for being here with me. It's very good to have you back in the circle. Until next time, bye.